Hello students, today we will study about the nature of CX bond and then the chemical properties of haloalkenes. In chemical properties, today we will study about nucleophilic substitution reactions. So if we talk about the nature of CX, that is carbon and halogen bond in haloalkenes, what we are talking about is it is the carbon and halogen bond. Okay, if we compare these two bonds, halogen is more electronegative as compared to carbon atom. So what will happen? This halogen, see, this halogen, it will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, and when it will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, it will become partial negative, and the carbon, it will become partially positive, and the bond, see, it is shifted here towards X, that is halogen. So the presence of this partial negative charge here on the halogen, what it will do, it will facilitates it to leave as halide ion on the approach of a nucleophilic reagent. See, if any stronger nucleophile, stronger than this halide, if that nucleophile will come, then that nucleophile will replace this halogen from here, because the bond here, the polarity has come and this bond has weakened. So when a strong nucleophile will approach here, then this halogen, it will detach itself from here and the incoming nucleophile will be attached here. What is a nucleophile? Nucleophile, it is a attacking reagent which either it is having a lone pair of electron or a negative charge, and it will always attach itself to electron deficient sites. And since, see, carbon is here and carbon is partially positive, it means that the incoming nucleophile will attack this carbon. Now the chemical, and see what is here, the CX bond length, it increases from CF to CI. Yes, carbon, fluorine is smaller in size as compared to chlorine, bromine and iodine, so the CF bond will be the smaller and CI bond will be the larger. CF will be difficult to break. Now chemical properties of haloalkene. The first is the nucleophilic substitution. See, substitution is done by a nucleophile, that is called a nucleophilic substitution. Like in general displacement reactions, when we used to talk about, then the more reactive element it displaces, the less reactive element from its salt solution. Similarly, a nucleophile is a substance which is having a negative charge, and if it is stronger, then it will displace the, here particularly we are talking about haloalkenes, so it will displace the halogen ion or the halide ion which is present over here, and the nucleophile will attach itself to the carbon to which this halide was attached. So if we'll see this R, which is partially positive, polarity has come here due to this halogen which is more electronegative. So it will become partially positive and this halogen will become partially negative. So attacking nucleophile, if it is stronger than halogen, then it will attack here and it will attach itself with the alkyl group and halide will leave the chain. Now see, if here we are talking about the primary haloalkane normally undergo substitution by SN2 mechanism. See, in SN2 mechanism, what actually happens, that incoming reagent and the outgoing ion, they both attach themselves, they both are remain attached to the carbon and a transition state is formed. That's why the primary haloalkane, they can easily undergo substitution by SN2 mechanism, whereas tertiary by SN1 mechanism, like if they will come and the attached or halogen, it will remove itself from there. So directly it is done, so it is easily done. The tertiary haloalkane, they easily do by SN1 mechanism. Secondary haloalkane, they undergo substitution by both, by prime SN1 and by SN2 both. So the reactivity of alkyl group, if alkyl group is same and halogens are different, okay, then the reactivity of alkyl halide, it will follow Yes, the rule that Ri, it will react very readily as compared to Rf. Ri, then Rbl, then chloro, and then fluoro. This is just because the atomic size, its bond length is largest, and more the bond length, lesser will be the attraction between the two reagents or the two ions, and that's why this bond will be broken down easily. Yes. Second is the order of the reactivity for the same halogen. If halogen is same and alkyl groups are different, okay, then what will happen here? Higher the number of alkyl groups attached to the carbon of CX bond, the number of alkyl group, the more the number of carbon attached to the CX bond, greater is the reactivity of haloalkane. Why greater is the reactivity? If more the number of halogens are attached, greater is the reactivity. It means the halogen is leaving itself readily there. It is because alkyl groups are electron repelling groups. They repel electrons. And see, this is tertiary, secondary, and primary. Tertiary haloalkanes will be most reactive, then secondary, and then the primary will be the least reactive. This is because, see, here 3 alkyl groups are present, and more the number of alkyl groups, greater is the reactivity. Here 3 alkyl groups are present, they all these 3, they will repel the electrons present here, and it means this, it will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, and these 3 groups will repel the electrons. So this halogen will be detached from here readily. Yes, more easily this halogen is removed from here or leave this carbon, more easily the nucleophile will attach itself here. So tertiary haloalkenes, they are most reactive because of the presence of 3 alkyl groups here with the carbon which is having halogen to it. Okay, here see 2 alkyl groups are present. So as compared to this, the removal of this halogen, it is quite difficult, and if we compare these 3, then the removal of this halogen is most difficult than this and then this. Okay, that's why tertiary haloalkanes, they are most reactive. Among primary halide, if we are talking about primary halide only, then CH3X, it is most reactive. Then CH2. See here, actually the distribution has taken place, charge distribution. That's why it is most reactive. Then the number of carbons with increasing, the reactivity of the haloalkane will decrease. So these are the two where same alkyl group is there, and here the number of alkyl groups are different. Now the order of reactivity towards SN1 and SN2 reactions. See, if SN1 we are talking about tertiary, then secondary, and then primary, they will show SN nucleophilic substitution by SN1 mechanism very easily, and primary will show it by SN2 mechanism easily. See, what is SN1 mechanism? If you are talking about 3 halogens are attached here, and sorry, not 3 halogens, 3 alkyl groups are attached with a carbon having a halogen. Okay, this halogen will leave this carbon, halogen will become halide, and this carbon will become a carbocation, positive ion will come here. Now a nucleophile will come, and that nucleophile will attach itself like here. Either of the two can be formed. So here first this has been removed, and then this nucleophile has attached itself. So tertiary will, if we are talking about tertiary, then the stability of the carbocation is in the order here. If stability we are talking about, then tertiary, they will be most stable, and then secondary, and then the primary one. Okay, now here see the second one. Here what will happen? A transition state will be formed. This X, this is nucleophile is attacking this carbon. This is a leaving group, and this is the incoming group. They both will remain here in the attached state. This is the transition state. and then after that this halide will detach itself from this carbon, and the nucleophile will make a permanent bond with this carbon. So here if we talk about, the higher the number of alkyl group attached to the carbon atom of the CX bond, more is the steric hindrance. If the number of alkyl groups are more, steric hindrance means uh, bigger the groups, they will cause repulsions with each other, and more the steric hindrance, and consequently lesser is the reactivity. Now of the alkyl halide towards the SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction will be done with difficulty. That's why if you are talking about SN2 reactions, then primary can do it quite easily, because nucleophile will be there, and outgoing halide will be there, and if more number of alkyl groups will also be there, then tertiary cannot do that. Okay, it will be easier for primary to do the substitution by SN1 mechanism. Now many examples are there. We'll discuss them one by one. First is the substitution by hydroxyl group. See, if this halogen is substituted by OH, means we'll get the alcohols. It means this reaction is of the preparation of alcohols also. Substitution of hydroxyl group, preparation of alcohol. Here suppose any haloalkane is there, like here we have taken CH3Br. Then CH3Br will combine with aqueous KOH. With aqueous KOH, it will form CH3OH. This OH will be attached here, and Br and H will combine to Br and K will combine to form KBr. If AgOH, moist silver oxide, is taken, then we will get, means these two can be used for preparation of alcohols from haloalkane. We will get CH3CH2OH along with the formation of AgBr. Now second is the substitution by alkoxy. Alkyl and oxy. Alkyl and oxy group means oxygen is there and an alkyl group is there, and an alkyl group is there. Okay, alkoxy. So see here, if it is displaced by alkoxy, if OH will be removed and OR will be attached, means we will get ethers. RX is there, if it will combine with NaOR dash, NaOR dash, sodium alkoxide, if it is there, then we will get this OR will attach with this R, and Na and X will combine to form NaX. Example is there, CH3CH2Br, it will combine with sodium methoxide. Sodium methoxide. So this Na will combine with Br to form NaBr. This is positive, this is slightly negative. They both will combine to form NaBr, and this OCH3 will be combined with this cation, carbocation. OCH3 will be attached here. So we will get this ether along with the formation of NaBr. And this reaction is called Williamson's synthesis. This is called Williamson's synthesis. Ethers can also be obtained if other than this reagent, if we want to prepare ethers, then they can also be obtained by heating alkyl halides with dry silver oxide. If we'll take dry silver oxide, then to this reaction can happen. Ag and Br, they are removed from here. This C2H5O C2H5 will form this, and 2AgBr will be removed from here. So it is also prepared by using dry silver oxide. See, here we have taken moist silver oxide, alcohol was formed. Here we have taken dry silver oxide, and it will form ether. Okay, and with sodium alkoxide, this reaction is called Williamson's synthesis. Rest reactions we will study in our next video. Thank you.